Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Flourish IVG again with another video. So I hope you guys are doing alright. So here we go. This is gonna be a different type of video. This is something new I'm trying. I want to try it out. So here we go. So you probably have seen many of my demo videos. Probably don't watch them. Some of you do. It's just basically a demo where I show a replay of how I play a hero and I give a simple description, and then that's for you visual learners that you don't want to listen to me most of the times. But this is gonna be a different hero. This is gonna be a game where I'm gonna talk about it while you're watching it, so I can give you little details of the things that I did basically, because like this game was intense. Like it was really intense. So first things to go first is that let's look at the comp. I pick weapon power Idris, so I'm going bot lane. But like weapon power Idris is just a bad hero against everything they have. They have a Cruel and a Gromja. That's my biggest concern. That was my biggest concern when I picked this guy, because I didn't know I was fighting against that. So no, I'm not going weapon power anymore. I changed my mind. I'm going CP. Now it really doesn't matter. The team will not get affected by the lack of ramping damage, because the utility that Idris provides with the Shiversteel is just insane. If you don't know how that works, is basically whenever Idris gets his range attacks, they still count as melee, so he doesn't get diminishing returns from having a Shiversteel. So that means that the slow is insane, just like any other hero that is melee. But the best part of it is that you can apply from a distance. Once you do a basic attack to an enemy, you can do a constant lockdown. And not only makes it easy for Idris to land his B and just keep going with some basic attacks, which is something that he struggles a lot when he's playing CP, that people just run away from him. It also makes it easy for his entire team to like get kills, because you're constantly slowing the enemy team. So alright, I'm playing Idris, I'm going against the box. So the first things to notice is that this box is playing super passive. That is such a huge mistake when playing at Idris. He's trying to go for the minions first. Every time I play in Community Edition, I always try to get trades or try to attack the enemy hero, because making them fall back is such a good it's a good play in Community Edition. You don't want to be passive right away. You want to have the lead, and the easiest way to do so is being aggressive and making sure that whoever you're fighting in the lane falls back and has to. No, that what I'm trying to say is that falls back and loses goal. So here we go. First mistake that the box is doing right now is that he's not attacking me, and I'm an Idris. Like I said, as long as I don't die, I'm basically winning. This is just a win plus plus, because not only am I not dying, but he's not doing any damage to me. So I can just ignore him. Like you can see there, I was like poking him with my chakrams, trying to play extremely passive. I really didn't have any damage to do. Idris really doesn't do any damage until he's level 3. Once his chakrams are level 2, when he starts doing some significant damage. At level 1 and level 2, he's kind of weak. So here we go. It looks like the Kestrel just got a kill. Enemy Kestrel, that's gonna be a huge problem for my teammates. I'm an Idris. I really don't fear the Kestrel when she gets fed. Most of the times, the heroes that are more dangerous when I'm playing Idris are heroes that have great mobility or utility, or are extremely tanky, because Idris is a hero that is just bad against tanks overall, and heroes with a high sustain. So alright, first things go first. Like the easiest way to get your perk when you're playing CP Idris is to get 2 heavy crystals and a crystal bit. That's more than enough to get your perk. You don't have to go for a level 3 item, which takes longer and is harder to obtain. So going for 2 heavy crystals and a crystal bit will make sure that you get your perk faster and more efficiently. This is very important, because most of the times when you're playing Idris, you're in a huge disadvantage. Alright, looks like my teammates are still dying at this point. They're making trades with each other. So far, my team only has 1 kill. and my teammates already died 4 times by this point, which is very unfortunate because I'm playing Idris, and the last thing I want, or the last thing you will want when you're playing Idris, is the enemy team to get fed, because it just means it's just gonna take more time for you to do work. So here where I am, I'm playing against the box again. He's playing more aggressive. He has more items right now. He's going for a poison ship. That's not a bad item, but I wouldn't recommend it against an Idris. Usually when I'm playing box, depending on what I'm fighting, that means that I have to build a different item. The poison ship is such a good item on box, and overall tank killer is such a good build for box, just by the way his abilities work. Flat damage on box is just really bad. So yeah, if I was playing against someone squishy, I would just go for a bonsai right away, and then get an infusion, and then from there I can do a lot of work. But if you're playing against someone who has a lot of sustain, you can go for a poison shift because you're gonna get the most value out of it. A lot of people like to get the poison shift right away for self-sustain more than killing sustain, which is not a bad thing, to be honest. It just depends on what you're looking for very early on. But like I said, this box is still doing the same mistake. He hasn't realized that he has to distract me or destroy me, but at the same time, it's a top laner box, which means that he was not predicting that he was gonna fight an Idris amongst all heroes, especially a CP Idris in bot lane, because it's just something that you don't see every day. So alright, I'm securing some vision here. No one's gonna rotate because this is not top lane. So I pretty much have the advantage. Right now I got my perk, so I already won against Vox. Once you get your perk, you basically are unstoppable. Right here, look at the damage I did to Vox. He tried to get the turret instead of attacking me. That was such a bad trade for him. Not only did I make him flash, but I also have him at a very low health. He sacrificed his health for trying to get the vision right there, and he just got punished by doing so. And I already have my perks, so now I can be aggressive on him and not the other way around, where I have to just wait for him to fall back. Right there, I cannot choke my chakram, but it's fine. Right there, I got him. Like I said, Idris is a hero that deals a lot of damage with not a much of base CP because his CP ratios are really high. So it's just an disgusting how much damage Idris can do with not a lot of items, to be honest. Alright, this is very unfortunate. By this point, I'm winning against Vox, but my teammates already died 9 times, and my team only has 1 kill so far, which is very unfortunate. Right here, Vox is trying to attack me, but he really doesn't do that much damage. Right now, he's getting carried by the poison shift. And like that, Vox is dead. The only reason why he lost is because he was not aggressive enough when he needed to be, and now I have the lead. So Vox is not a problem anymore. Now I have to be concerned about what my teammates are doing and the enemy team. Now I got my Shatter Glass, which is going to give me a huge power spike right now that I have to take advantage of. Right now, the first things that I have to consider is that for the moment, I'm a really passive hero for now. I'm really defensive. I cannot play extremely aggressive. Thankfully, we get a kill. That was very unfortunate. That was really good. Alright, now that I have the lead, I had no business in bot lane anymore. So now I have to start pushing this lane for my teammates. This is something that I like to do when I'm playing Idris, is that as soon as I get my Shatter Glass, I like to be rotating to lanes. Not to steal the gold or anything like that, specifically to push them and get the turret out of them. Like here, my teammate is in a huge disadvantage. So I'm just gonna keep pushing the turret. It looks like Gromja is back. Kestrel is trying to trade with me, but I'm poking her. I still cannot be aggressive yet. I still need attack speed, and I need to get my Shiversteel. So like I said, I'm not supposed to be playing aggressive. I'm more of a passive hero for now. It looks like Box is really thirsty, so he got my turret. I really don't care if he gets a turret. I actually prefer if he does that way, because that means I can rotate more and I don't have to deal with the turret anymore. He's going for the second one. He's probably gonna take it. I really don't care. He died for it, so that's fine. I actually prefer it if the turrets are pushed, because that means that I can do more work, and it's less likely that I have to go rotating here often. It looks like my teammates are still dying, which is not very good. I'm gonna fall back. It's very likely that I can die here. So all I have to do is make sure I get my items, get gold, and play it safe. That's the best way to play Idris for now. It looks like they're pushing this. I have a dragon contract, so the slow was enough for me to poke the Ringo right there. And like that, he's dead. So it might look very intimidating to play Idris because you feel like you need a lot of items to do work, but not really. As soon as you get your perk, you can start rotating and doing massive damage. Alright, I wanted to go for the ground jab, but it looks like he's just too tanky for now, and I don't have utility to take him down. Thankfully, with smart rotations and good plays, I already have my Shiversteel, and now this is gonna make significantly stronger. Now, for the team is struggling to keep up with enemies, but this is gonna make it so easy, not only for me but for the team. Now, for it looks like we're losing because all the turrets are pushed in, and we just keep dying over and over and over. But I really don't fear. I was not fearing that because I just needed to get items. Like once I get the Shiver Steel, I can literally make a huge difference. And here's where the first fight begins. I got that kill, just like nothing. And my teammates are starting to make trades. I'm starting to be more of an aggressive player, more aggressive hero. So now the teammate is not the enemy team was not used to me being aggressive. So they really don't know what they're expecting from me. So they're playing very gutsy. Alright, so Ringo's right here. I do the permanent slow on him. He's dead. So now that I have this huge power spike and great utility, I have to just take advantage of it as much as I can and make sure I get my teammates fed. Because if I don't get them fed, I'm gonna be applying insane slows, but they're not gonna be able to finish the enemies for me or do damage to finish them off. So now we can be more aggressive, we can spread a little better because now we have some utility. We have something to make them fall back from us. Like I see here, they don't want to get close to us. And this is something very important when you're playing Idris, is that most of the times people will just go into you and you will die, or people run away from you. Whereas you're able to make sure people cannot move, like this Kestrel right here, it's just gonna be a free kill. Like that, she's dead. And now Cruel is next. He cannot move, and now his box is right here. And he's dead. And right there I got an easy triple kill. There's no fear, even when the team is like, the enemy team was making a lot of trades early game, we still cannot give up, you know? I just remained confident that I was winning against the box. I took advantage of that. I got my items, and now I'm playing for my teammates, and now they're getting fed. Also, don't forget to realize that the United on our team is an AFK. That's the reason why my teammates were struggling too much. So now I have the most important item after the Shiversteel is the alternative current. Not only does it increase the damage I do with my basic attacks, but it also gives me some attack speed. It makes it so much easier to keep up with attacks. That was very unfortunate that I got stunned by Kestrel, where I really didn't mind. Now we can finally take this turret. That was such a really good stun from a root from Lance right there. That was such a good kill for us. And now I can just keep up on that. I couldn't do the follow up to Kestrel because Box is right there and the turret is just there's not enough space for me to do that. I knew Krul was somewhere right there. I got lucky that I hit him like 3 times with the hitbox on the chakram, so he's probably falling back. Now that Inara's AFK, I started taking her gold to get my items. One of the most annoying things about Shiversteel Idris is that he's really tanky. One of the things I like to do is that instead of going for a lot of damage, which a lot of Idrises do, CP Idris specifically, is that I like to be tanky. When I'm tanky, that means I can just keep chasing. People will try to stop me with damage, but that's just not gonna keep me away from just keep locking people down. One of the best items I like to start with is an item that I like. The best item to get first is probably the Shroud. The Shroud has a lot of... It's a really good item against CP heroes. It gives you health, it gives you a free block, and it also makes you harder to kill overall to CP heroes. Making CP heroes useless is really good. Getting armor in the game is not that efficient. You're better off just getting a block. Right here we find the Cruel. He's out of place, so he's just gonna be a free kill, to be honest. Right now, it looks like the team didn't know what to do or how to react to me just popping off out of nowhere. So they're splitting. They don't know what they're doing. They took the dragon, but that's just not gonna make anything. That's just gonna give us free gold at this point. Alright, 16 minutes into the game, so I should start talking about what are we fighting. We're fighting against a Rome Gromja, which is not bad, but he doesn't have... Oh, before I keep talking, let's look at this team fight. I go for the Ringo first because he's the only one that can take me down on a 1v1. And he took a lot of damage. I took a lot of damage from him, so he's probably the most dangerous character. Thankfully, he doesn't have a good build, so I can take advantage of that. But also, he has healing. He has a Serpent Mask, which is healing. Like I said, is something that is really good against Idris because Idris is not a good hero at cutting sustain. So he was doing a lot of work to me right there. Thankfully, I was able to burst him down, and my teammates came around to help me, so we shut down Ringo and Box simultaneously. Alright, like I was saying, let's look at the team. They have a CP Box with mortal wounds. That's not bad, but he just didn't. He wasn't aggressive to me early game, so that's why he's losing and he's behind. Ringo has a Serpent Mask and a Bonsa. You really don't need the Serpent Mask. It's kind of like weak. Ringo is a hero that excels with high base damage, especially with a Sorrow Blade. So he's not gonna get much value from that. They have a CP Cruel. CP Cruel is an assassin that can be very aggressive. Well, thanks to my Shiversteel, he's kinda useless and he's not getting any defense. So I had the advantage right there. And then we have a Lance that is not going Rome, so he's kinda weak. He uses Fountain by accident right there, so I thought that was really funny when I was playing. So Lance is really weak because he doesn't have a block or anything like that, so that's kind of bad. We have a weapon power Sky, which is not good either against what we're fighting against, and she's really behind. And then we have a Celeste that has a Dragon's Eye as first item. So you can tell that my teammates are kind of like not that great. But thanks to the Shiversteel slow, nothing can do. No one can approach us. Like here, Cruel tried to go for me. He cannot do anything. Box right here, he's getting slowed down. My entire team just locked him down in seconds. So a lot of people don't consider this when they look at this build. Yes, when you're fighting a 1v1, you might not be that strong. When you're slowing people down, your entire team, even when they have bad items or they're not that great, like my teammates right here, they can do a lot of work thanks to the utility. So far, every time I lock down and someone, my teammates don't hesitate and they help me right away because they know I'm doing work. Right here, I know that's a Ringo. I don't want to harass him because he has the damage to take him down. So I'm not gonna engage him. So I'm just gonna avoid him. Take the ultimate. It really doesn't matter. Now he doesn't have it anymore. I'm just gonna ignore that and I'm just gonna go back to my jungle. Well, Inara's jungle, but you know she's AFK. Like I say, I like to be tanky, so the first item I got was the Shroud. I really don't need weapon power defense because the only weapon power hero they have is Ringo, and he's not a problem to me. I can just avoid him. Right now, I was starting to realize that they were pissing me off. That I needed to be faster. If I need to be faster, I go for a Serpent Mask. If I need to be more passive, if I don't need to be that aggressive, I can just go for a broken mid. It depends on what you're fighting against. If you need to play extremely slow, you can go for a broken mid and do more damage. But if you need to be faster, like I said, you can go for a Serpent Mask and be able to get on people's faces, or just do the dash and get that distance that you need to start locking people down. So alright. So it's 21 minutes into the game already. And by this point we should be winning. But it's very unfortunate that uh, that Inara was AFK. We find Crow right here. Lance does the follow up. I slow him down. He tries to use his ult, but he choked. So by now it looks like Krul doesn't know what he's doing. I find the Kestrel, so I use my dash to start the follow up. She does the mistake of stunning me instead of just throwing her away. So she dies immediately. She's CP, so she could just keep hitting and then we would not be gonna able to kill her. So she decided to attack, which make me just basic attack her once. When you're playing Idris with this build, it only takes one basic attack to do a permanent slow, which is more than enough to like do a lot of work. And now, even though we have one AFK, the enemy team decides to split. This is something that a lot of people do in Community Edition. They like to split a lot, and even players don't take advantage of this when others split. Thankfully, because I have the Shiversteel and because Lance is following me, we were able to shut down so many players, so many different heroes right there. So now we're gonna take the dragon and hope we can finish this game already. As you can see, Bucks is here, but he's not gonna do anything. So right here, I just start slowing him down. It's just a free kill. I try to keep my distance because I know someone might come up. Kestrel just show up. She gets slowed down. My entire team does a follow-up. We find Gromja. I start slowing him down. He uses a block that was really smart from him. He uses his dash. I couldn't use my ultimate, so that's fine. I mean, I make him draw fall. I made him fall back. I made him use his block, so that's a really good trade for me. I find Ringo. I didn't want to hesitate that much, so I ult him away from him. But because I had my dash, I was able to do a follow-up. It was very unfortunate that I wasn't able to kill him. He got lucky, but hey, now he's not here, so now we can get the turret. Even though I had the advantage, I was still being very careful with the Ringo because he's the one that deals the most damage to me. Right here, I'm keeping my distance. I go back to my teammates after doing that aggressive approach, and thankfully I didn't die because I was playing really aggressive, but at the same time I was being safe. As soon as I saw the Ringo, I traded with him to slow him down, make him get disoriented with the slow, and then I fall back with my teammates. and we were able to get away from that without dying or anything like that. So we got a good push. So it's 24 minutes into the game, and still we couldn't finish it. And it's all because we have one AFK. The only way to finish the game is to get an ace, and it's really hard to get an ace when the entire team is always splitting, especially the enemy team. So right here, I was trying to bait people using my teammates, but no one showed up. So that's kind of fine. But, oh look, the entire team shows up. I tried to go for the Kestrel. The entire team is right there, so I just try to play passive. I don't want to go into a team fight I cannot win. I find the Cruel, so I go for him immediately. Now that he's down, now we have an even. Now we're even. We're a 4v4. I find the Ringo. I go for him right away. He's the only one that can stop me. I took a lot of damage from him. Thankfully, because I'm being aggressive, my teammates just do a follow-up and they help me take down the Ringo despite the fact that there were two people next to me. I find the Kestrel. I slow her down. Oh my god. Right there, the bot, the Nara bot helped me kill her. She did the damage and she showed me where, and the damage she did to the Kestrel showed me where she was. I found the Gromja right here. He has a shroud, so as long as that thing is active, the Shiversteel doesn't work. I find him. I use my ultimate right away to be able to pop his shroud, so I can start doing the lockdown right here. He cannot move away from me. He misses his ultimate. I just keep attacking him and he gives up. And just like that, you can just finish up anything with this build. Alright, nothing is here. We already split them so hard. We still cannot win because there's really no objectives right now. We find the Cruel. I'm shutting him down again. He cannot do anything. And there he goes. We're keeping them from being together. I find the boss, I go for him. I do the lockdown and he's down. I go for Ringo, he ulted in front of me, now he's dead. And just like that, Lance was able to just destroy him. And we won the game. I find the Kestrel, I try to slow her down. It was very unfortunate that Lance didn't have his cooldown in time, but there you go. And that's how you play Shiversteel Idris. Like you can see, I didn't die a single time. I didn't approach any team fight I couldn't win. I was always splitting them. I think Inara came back at the end. Something very important is that my teammates were doing really bad. Like you can see, they really don't have good items. I mean, Lance kind of has that good mentality that he has a clockwork and a shadow glass, but at the end that really helped me. Celeste didn't have that much base damage, but hey, thanks to the slow, they were able to like do a lot of work. They took advantage of it, so that's why we were able to still win this game, despite the fact we had one AFK. And I was able to just go for a 23, and even my teams were like feeding the entire team the early game. So that's basically how my mentality goes when I'm playing Shiversteel Idris in the game.